All right, Jubilee Line as requested by Wilbur Soot. So, yeah, this song's pretty cool. It requires a little bit of fingerstyle, a little bit of strumming, and an alternate tuning. Besides that, it's pretty straightforward. And please subscribe if you like what's going on. That'll help me out a lot. Or feel free to donate. So the first thing you're going to want to do with this song is tune the guitar the way he's doing it. Like a lot of his songs, he's doing an alternate tuning. So the regular tuning on a guitar is E, A, D, G, B, E. What he's doing is he's taking this low E string down here, and he's bringing it down a major third to a C. I just explained this in another video, but quick refresher. Basically, the best way to do that, if you're going to do it by ear, is you find a C note on the A string, which is the 3rd fret of the A string. That's a C note. You want this to sound like that an octave lower. And if this doesn't make any sense to you, it's okay, I have another way. So you would detune it down to match that. If you don't know how to do that, that's okay. You can just use a tuner. I have a clip-on tuner on my guitar. Those work great. Or there's plenty of apps and stuff. You just have to make sure that this is going to go down to a C, or the song will not sound right. And remember, the guitar is not in tune. Nothing's going to be right. So here I'll do kind of both. So here I'll play a C. A lot of times what I like to do is play it on the 12th fret, play the harmonic. Great. So now I'll just check the tuner. You just got to make sure play the harmonic maybe. There you go. To play harmonic, you put your finger on the 12th fret, but you don't press anything, just touch. And my tuner says C, that's good. Let's check the other strings just to make sure. Want everything to be in tune. Great, pretty good. Then you take a capo, and I love these capos. These are my favorite. They keep the guitar in tune really well. And you put that on the 2nd fret. Remember to put it right behind the fret, almost on top of it. That's the sweet spot. If you put it in the middle, it'll pull the strings a little bit out of tune. You don't want that. So trying to get it right there. Press down. Now, if you tune it now with the capo on, the notes will register different. This will register as a D. This will register as a B, E, A, C sharp, and F sharp. Now's the fun part. So you have to do a little fingerstyle here, and if you're not familiar with fingerstyle, I have another video I'll have to link below. That's kind of a crash course on how to play fingerstyle, but I don't want to have to go through all that in the video. It'll take up too much time and all that. The part is pretty easy as far as the part goes. So you can use your 1st or 2nd finger. I would suggest one of those, and you press on the 6th string. We'll call it the E string. That's what it's usually referred to. On the 9th fret, and you pluck that with your thumb. Then your index finger, your 1st finger, will pluck the G string, and your 2nd finger, your middle finger, will pluck the B string. And you go thumb, 1st, middle, 1st, thumb. Do it twice. So it's thumb, 1st, middle, 1st, thumb, 1st, middle, 1st. Sounds familiar? Yeah. And then you move the note that you're fretting back 2 frets. You use your 1st or your 2nd finger. Now we're on the 7th fret. Then we go back 1 fret to the 6th fret. Same pattern here. And then on the last one, we go back to the 5th fret, but our 3rd finger is going to pop up to the 6th fret on the B string, or the 2nd string. So that's the whole pattern. It's 9th fret, 7th fret, 6th fret, 5th fret, pop up the 3rd finger on the 6th fret of the B string. And that's the pattern. He does that on the verse and in the intro like this. He does it 3 times. He does that 3 times, and we'll pretend we've done it 3 times. On the 4th time, it's a little different. When he gets to the 3rd chord on the 6th fret, 1st finger on the 6th fret, now he puts his 3rd finger, his ring finger, on the 7th fret of the B string. And then moves that whole shape back 1 fret, just like the other times. So, the whole thing, 1st time. 2nd time. 3rd time. does a little pause. He goes, and I'm assuming you know how the song goes if you're watching this video anyway. So that's the intro and when he starts singing the first time. After he sings on the first verse, there's a little interlude guitar part. That part's a little different too, but very easy. Starts the same, first finger on the 9th fret. Then it goes up 2 frets to the 11th fret. Then you get a freebie, open. Does the pattern 4 times. It's all on the same strings. It's nice. Then the second time, instead of going up 2 frets, he goes back 2 frets to the 7th fret and open again. That's the little interlude part. Then there is the verse again. He does it just like he did the first time, doing this thing, walking down, and then does that 3 times, and the 4th time then there's another section where he's singing "Shout at the Wall," I think, yeah, and that part's a little different. He still does 3 times and 4 times, but the 3 times he does like he did the 4th time on the other one. Sounds confusing? Don't worry, it's easier to explain if I just play it. So it starts the same. Now when he goes to the 6th fret, he pops that 3rd finger up early already on the 7th fret of the B string. Brings the whole shape back. That's the first time. Now we're on the 2nd time. Does it again. So they're kind of all, the first 3 times are like the 4th time was in the other section. Up again. Now on the 4th time, when he gets here, he starts strumming. Cool. So that part, don't forget to subscribe or please donate. What was I saying? So we're doing this part. 3 times. Then on the 4th time, we start strumming. What's he doing there? This is kind of a tricky one because there's actually an electric bass added to the part. But what I think he's doing on guitar is just doing that while bass is going. But the best way to play this by yourself, and trust me on this, is probably to kind of do a little bit of both. And I'll show you how to do that. So it starts the same, 9th fret, 7th fret. Now we're going into the strumming right now. I'm going to put our 3rd finger, our ring finger, on the 6th fret of the low E, and then our 1st finger, index finger, on the 4th fret of the D string. It's the same note actually, just an up an octave. So what's going to happen when you strum is you're strumming this low E. The A is muted. My 3rd finger is touching it, so it's not making a sound. And then the 1st finger is playing the 4th fret of the D string. Then there's an open G, an open B string, and I'm not playing. I'm missing the high E string. And it's really hard to kind of just always perfectly miss that string. So don't worry about it too much. I kind of just aim for the G string area, and usually I miss it. It's just down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, but he builds like a volume. Called a crescendo. So he takes that shape that we did, and starts strumming, moves the whole thing back 1 fret, and that should do it. As far as the strumming goes, what I've seen him do a lot in the videos, he uses his 1st finger kind of like a pick. So when you this is a common thing people do. When you hold a pick, kind of like this most of the time. So if you don't have a pick, a lot of people will just have their 1st finger protrude out, and they just strum like that. Or you can use your thumb. A lot of people do that. Or you can use a pick. You can pick up the pick. Only problem with that is the music has to stop for a second while you pick up the pick. The other option is you could do the whole first part with a pick. And how do you do that? Instead of using your thumb on this low E, you play it with a pick, and then instead of doing thumb, index, middle, like you would with the fingers, you go pick, 2nd, 3rd. So pick, middle, ring finger. problem with doing all that stuff is it sounds a little different, so that's really up to you. If you want to make it authentic the way he does it, I would learn how to strum with your first finger or your thumb. Here's the part. Now we're into the full-on strumming part. So what he does here, it starts the same. It's just the first finger on the 9th fret, and then the A string is dead. I'm touching it with the back of my first finger, so it doesn't make a sound. A little bit of sound, but not noticeable. Open D, open G, open B. E string isn't played. Without the strumming, it's just. Then the next chord is easy, it's open. You just miss the low E and the high E. So just the middle 4 strings. So that's the first chord, this is without the strumming. And the next chord, what that is open E, second finger on the 5th fret of the A string, first finger on the 4th fret of the D string, open G, open B. And the next chord I really like, you're going to move this back one. So what you have to do is now your 3rd finger is on the 5th fret of the A string, and your first finger is on the 3rd fret of the D string. So it's open, 5th fret, 3rd finger, first finger, 3rd fret, then open, open, and then I'm missing this again. I'm missing the high E, it's not being played. So as far as the strumming goes there, is the first chord, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, down, down, up, down. Nice and slow, down, down, up, down. 1, 2, 3, 4, down, down, up, down. And the second chord is the same thing, down, down, up, down. If you don't like those open strings, if it's really hard for you to miss that low E, you can actually move that up there. Oops. So it's down, down, up, down, 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 up, down. And then for the last 2 chords, it's just strum, down, up, 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 down, 8 times, yeah. Down, down, up, down, 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 up, down. This is the best way. 3 times. The 4th time, he just stays on the 3rd chord. So then there's hits after that, and the hits are really easy. It's the same exact chords. You're just stopping. Stop. Stop. So hopefully that clears everything up. It's basically the hardest part of the song. After you tune it and you get the little fingerstyle pattern down, the fingerstyle pattern should play itself. It's just the same thing over and over again. Once you get this down with your right hand, it'll turn into a motor. You won't even have to think about it. And these chords are pretty easy. The hardest part, I think, is switching to the strumming. Right now. And he switches the strumming pattern a little bit when he strums, but I wouldn't be too picky about it because it sounds like he's kind of making it up as he goes along. Hope you had fun. Hope you learned something. And once again, please subscribe. It helps me out a lot. Or donate would be even better because we're doing these videos for free and I need all the help I can get. Thanks.